Hi everyone, you're watching GGGaming Gone Mad. That means it's 8:30 on a Thursday night. And thank goodness we're here because my power only coming on load shedding 8:10 this evening. That's when I knew that the show would be going ahead and quickly put it out on Twitter. Times are tough at the moment. Don't believe what you're reading on my shirt, which says life is better in SA. I don't think it's the case, but someone who may argue with me, the guy always looks in a good mood. Not much gets him down. Gary Lenton from GGGaming. How you, Gary?
Yeah, all good, Brent. All good. How you doing, my mate?
Very well, thanks, man.
What's up, that shirt?
Hey, that shirt. I had to wear it tonight. I thought it was so appropriate.
I could just show us again. Life is better in SA.
There we go.
They sell a lot of those shirts in Zimbabwe and North Korea.
I think so. That's the only places. They'll sell at the moment, I think, Gary. But yeah, I mean, load shedding and that aside, I'm sure you guys have seen a nice increase in business with Super Rugby coming up, eh?
Look, we've been okay. Look, unfortunately, racing's been cancelled on Monday from Kimberley, Tuesday and Thursday from Joburg. They've already moved the Joburg meeting from Saturday to Sunday. So obviously, you guys are getting a fortune of rain to go with the load shedding. You know, here we got the load shedding and we got no rain, and we desperately need the rain again. You know, but yeah, so turnover's been down a little bit because of the racing. But yes, all the interest is in the rugby, and it has been for the past couple of weeks, Brent. And I think it works really well. I know you said you've been too busy at work to get into it, but it almost worked so well with the prelude coming from the Six Nations leading into the Super Rugby. I found that's got me excited and got my sort of like rugby oils burning again. And I can't wait for things to start tomorrow morning.
And the Six Nations has been spectacular, hasn't it? I mean, England have really turned into absolutely incredible performances. I mean, yeah, I don't know what to make of France. They're absolutely useless. But it's setting up for a cracking World Cup later in the year as well.
I mean, the truth is, if people go to GGGaming from Monday, they're going to see a great table there, which has got some wonderful specials. I don't want to get too into it now. It'll be up on Monday, say Tuesday at the latest. And you and if you do it with the show next week with Justin or with me, we'll discuss it then. It's got to do with the World Cup. And I think that if you look at it, wow, this is, in my opinion, the best chance that not an outsider, but a team other than sort of South Africa or New Zealand have got to win it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's been some great England sides, but not for the last few years. It's been, you know what I mean, Southern Hemisphere dominated. But Ireland must have an outside chance. England got a great chance, right? Yeah. Wales aren't dead in the water yet. You know what I'm saying, Brent? I mean, the truth be told, those three sides, yeah, they got chances. They really do. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I would back all three of those long before I back South Africa or Australia.
No, that's for sure. And how would you be betting, Gary, if I asked you just to price up North, East, Southern Hemisphere?
Well, I mean, to me, it looks like New Zealand versus the others. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Somewhere between even money and 12 to 10, depending on where you go, you know? So I would say probably, I would bet, if I did be fair and bet you 100%, I'd probably bet even money the pair.
Even money the pair. Yeah, that's pretty much, I suppose, that's New Zealand are hovering around the even money market. As you say, it's hard to really look past them or one of the Northern Hemisphere sides. Yeah, I must tell you, I'm firmly in the Northern Hemisphere camp. I'm actually foreseeing an England v Ireland final. Really? I actually think the All Blacks are going to get rolled.
Really? I mean, the truth be told, the cracks are there. They are there. There's no doubt about it. And the All Blacks, you have to say one thing about them, in my opinion, and that is that they don't really play World Cup type of rugby. Yes, they've won the last two, and I'm the biggest All Black fan there is that lives in South Africa when it comes to, you know, how good I really think they are. They won when they had a side with McCaw that should have dominated and won by 30, 40 points if we go back 8 years ago. You know what I mean? They played against a poor, in my opinion, a poor French side. You know what I mean? And they scraped to a victory, right? If I remember correctly, 8-7. You know what I'm saying? And then I think 4 years ago, they were just too good for everybody else. But they struggled. But they just a little bit too loose. And just maybe a smart guy like, you know what I mean, Eddie Jones or one of them found a way to tighten up in the knockout phase and beat them. I agree with you. For the first time in maybe 16 years, I'm saying that there's no value in the All Blacks at 12 to 10.
That's it. And thanks for bringing up the 2011 final. It was my biggest win. Well, it would have been my biggest win ever if the French had won. They poorly the whole tournament, and then they should have won that final. They were absolutely robbed.
Didn't they? They should have got a penalty when they were 8-7 down. Am I right?
Yeah.
Desotois, what was his
Jerome Kano came crawling over the maul.
Yes.
And Craig Joubert was the ref.
With the French captain. It was Desotois, wasn't it? What was his name?
I can't remember who the skipper was.
Yeah, very good flank. But yeah, exactly. That's it. I remember, and Neil Andrews, we were all sort of doing another show in those days, and you guys had all gone for France. I'd gone for New Zealand. I thought it was a clear-cut, no penalty. Glasses you're wearing at the time. But yeah, of course, France were unlucky. But I go back to the fact that New Zealand then dominated world rugby a lot more than they dominate now.
They certainly did.
Very lucky.
They certainly did. Gary, I just want to, let's start with the first competition. I see the boys are sitting on the live chat there. Ruan Fareed, by the way, saying he still fancies the All Blacks are going to win it. So, guys, the 500 Rand voucher comp for this week on the live chat. Bulls against the Stormers. Who's going to win the game and by how many? You guys can go for it. You've got until the end of the show to put your predictions on there. And the closest one will win a 500 Rand voucher there. But, Gary, that takes us into Super Rugby. We, of course, start tomorrow with the New Zealand derby, Chiefs against the Highlanders. Looks like all money for the Highlanders. I think that's on the back of the Chiefs naming quite a weak-looking side or inexperienced side.
I mean, at the end of the day, they've lost McKenzie, which is obviously, he's their playmaker, he's their talisman, he's got a lot to do with it. So the money's come rushing on for the Highlanders since then. My opinion, I still think the Chiefs got a better package. That's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Guys like Retallick and everything. And I just think that he'll get a lot out of them tomorrow. I really believe that, you know. And look, the betting suggests it's a pick-em game. I'm going to start, funny enough, with the Chiefs at home.
Right.
I hope I'm not making a fool of myself, but I think that their fly half is an under 20. The Chiefs are fly half. The guy starting is an under 20, right?
Yes.
I think the fly half on the bench, their backup on the bench is Stephen Donald. Who's what?
Yeah, the Beaver. Oh.
Huh? I mean, the gap in their age for the same position must be one of the greatest in all-time rugby. You know what I'm saying, hey, Brent? But I just think that the Chiefs will find a way to win at home. That's my prediction. I'm sure a lot of people think I'm crazy. We'll know before lunch tomorrow.
No, we certainly will. I must tell you, I mean, Donald the Beaver, as they call him, I mean, I still think that guy, he won the World Cup 4 years ago. And I say he must be one of the worst players to win a World Cup. I'm sorry, he was just playing in an absolutely brilliant team.
What was Carter doing 4 years ago? Carter, I think, won it 4 years ago. Remember?
Yes, it was Carter. Which was the year that Carter got injured? Was it 2011 when Donald won it then, I think?
Donald was the one that won it against the Fred.
You're right. Oh.
4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's 8 years ago World Cup winner. You know what I'm saying? That's a long, long time ago. And he was already past his, well, he never ever got to his best. But his best is still to come at 39. But, yeah, I just think that the Chiefs will find a way to get over the line.
Right. And the guys are, funny enough, just, Gary, looking at the live predictions here, I think we've got 2 Stormers picks and about 10 or 12 Bulls picks that have come up already, which is quite interesting. And let's move on to that game. I did see the Bulls are favourites, but not far from a pick and game this as well.
Yeah, I see only 3 points, but I don't understand why. You know, I mean, I've seen better province sides go to Pretoria and get a Harding, you know. I think the Bulls got a reasonable side. I know you don't like Puerto Human. You've said so, you can't bet. But I just think the Bulls have got a decent squad, you know what I'm saying? And I think that, to me, I think that's one of the value bets of the weekend, you know what I'm saying? I think the Bulls, I think they're going to win by more than 3. I think they're going to win by more than 10. For me, if I say something's a good thing, right? If you say something's a good thing as a punter, you must always add on a try and then see if you're still ahead of the game, right?
Yes.
So otherwise, there's too much sort of left to the last couple of minutes. And I genuinely believe the Bulls will win by more than 10 on the weekend. Well,
I must tell you, Gary, I've done a bit of an about swing since we last spoke. I actually really like Puerto Human now. But aside from that, I've actually liked the Bulls for the conference. I was initially going Sharks. And the more I think about it, the more I look at that Bulls squad, I think if Puerto Human can get it right, certainly, I think the Bulls are going to be big runners for the South African conference. And I think they're around about the 5-6-1 mark.
Exactly. If they can't win a home game against the Stormers, then they got no chance of winning the conference. Am I right, eh, Brent? I mean, let's be perfect.
Yeah. No, they got it. If they lose this weekend, they're virtually gone, Gary.
Almost gone before they start, right?
Yeah.
So, which was my case when I was a youngster dating. But yeah, I would say that the Bulls need to win, and I think they have got firm hopes of getting into the playoffs this season, and realistic hopes. But those hopes can only turn into reality if they turn Loftus back into a fortress, and they need to do that by winning and winning well on the weekend.
That's certainly going to be a good one. Any other games stand out for you on the weekend, Gary?
I mean, there are a lot of interesting games. I mean, I'm not going to go through all of them in great detail now, but I mean, the other game on Friday morning, tomorrow morning, with the Brumbies at home, also money coming for the Rebels. I think that could be misplaced again. The Lions game, I find that an exceptionally interesting game, going to Argentina again.
Yeah.
I don't think either of those sides have ever beaten the other side away from home. You know what I'm saying? Argentina, to me, could be a problem. You know, they've lost their halfbacks, who were their stars. You know what I mean? So they're going to really, really miss it. But the Lions have lost a lot of players as well. What are the other games that I'm thinking? I'll tell you something. Here's one that people are going to think I'm completely crazy with as well, because the money's gone the other way. The money's come for the Blues.
Yes.
Every year, right? And every year the money ends up in the bookmaker's pockets, right? Because the Blues are crap, right?
Yeah.
Story, right?
You don't have to tell me, Gary. I promise you that.
Oh, you one of the donators?
I'm a mug. I'm a Blues mug.
Okay. I just think tomorrow, what's at 6 points? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Crusaders beat them by 20 tomorrow.
You reckon, eh? And the days when everyone says the Crusaders are slow starters, but that's also something of the past. They actually haven't been starting that badly. I just think they are missing quite a few players. I haven't had a good look at all the teams and that. And look, the beauty about us mug punters, Gary, is you can throw as much logic and sense at us as you want. We're still going to back the Blues.
No, you still remember Zinzan Brook and the bunch. You know what I'm saying? And you haven't got over that yet, But I just think there's in-play. I'm going to give one tip that's probably going to cost me a lot of money. There's in-play betting. There's in-running betting.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning, if you've got nothing to do and you're watching the rugby, if the Brumbies, right, the Brumbies will win the last 20 minutes. Let me put it to you this way. Regardless of what the score is going into the last 20 minutes, the Brumbies will win the last 20 minutes by more than 10 points. Remember that. The Brumbies will win the last 10, 20 minutes by more than 10 points. Right?
Okay.
The Rebels, the bench across the road where that homeless guy sleeps from my house is a better bench than what the Rebels have got.
Okay. So you oppose the Rebels going into the last 20. The Brumbies are going to run away with it.
Definitely.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Guys just pointing out that Henrik actually went for the Blues, and a lot of the guys have followed him. So they're hoping you're wrong on that. I must tell you, Henrik's not watching the show because he has got load shedding now. He's meant to be one of my guests on the handicap show at 9 o'clock, and he's actually gone down. And the guys are pretty upset because he's lined up quite a few good bets for them. But it should be a cracking opening weekend. I'm not going to cut much of the Friday action, but I'm certainly looking forward to the Bulls Stormers game.
Yeah.
And what else we got on the weekend, Gary? The cricket test should be over by what? Sunday lunchtime?
Finish, you know what I mean, early on Saturday. Of course it will be, not tomorrow. I mean, that's the truth, right? I can't see Sri Lanka get. They never batted quite 60 overs today. They're not going to bat 60 overs in the second innings, They're just completely equipped to deal with the class and pace of people like Steyn and Rabada and Philander and everything, you know what I mean? I mean, the truth be told, I was sitting in the office today and one of the guys said, one of my geniuses that work for me, there are more people that work at the ground than are actually there watching it. So, and they wanted to have a bet with me and they wanted to include the players and the umpires and everybody else. I said, just the umpires alone account for more people than are actually paying to get into the ground. You know what I'm saying, Brent? What they need this for, I haven't worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. I must say, I didn't even know it was taking place. I got a shock to hear that we were playing Sri Lanka in a test series. And I mean, looks. I mean, we didn't score much in our first innings, but basically looks an absolute mismatch. And by Sunday, I was thinking I'm a couple of days ahead. I was thinking day 3, but of course day 3 is tomorrow. So if you got tickets for the weekend, which you probably don't.
I mean, they just leave the gates wide open and anybody can come. It's just such a poor show and a poor side of Sri Lanka. I remember when they came out here about 4 or 5 years ago. They were worried about the pace and they weren't equipped for it. So they thought that, they had a few great ideas about how to prepare themselves for the pace, right? And what they did is they got onto a concrete wicket and they had somebody throw golf balls at them, right? To see if they could get used to the pace, right? Brilliant. All their top order came out here with bumps and bruises all over their heads. You know what I'm saying? I mean, God, they're a clown bunch, this bunch of Sri Lankans. But anyway, a lot of cricket this year. A lot of cricket. I mean, World Cup cricket coming.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Hey, Gary, I've got a Twitter competition. We can pick your bet a little bit later. So the guys have got to beat your bet to win. Okay. But I'm thinking the guys on Twitter, and I haven't had time to type up a slide, so they must listen to this. I will post it below the article as well. Tweet on Twitter. We want the hashtag GGGaming gone mad at Brent Graham. Also tag at gggaming.bet so they can also see that you've entered the competition. And what we want to know is, on what day will the Sri Lanka-South Africa test finish and exactly what minute? So in other words, 4:15 p.m. on Friday, for example.
And then I put in the seconds, Brent.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, as the umpire clicks off the 2 bails,
As he clicks off.
I mean, we're talking about a monkey, 500 rand. Yeah, we're not giving it away just willy-nilly.
Yes. So I reckon we make it tough. But the closest guy, as long as your bet loses, the closest guy will win.
I'll tell you what we do. No, let's not go for that. Let's just say, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's guess who will get the last wicket in the test match.
The last wicket, okay.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Who'll take the last wicket? Who will be the bowler that gets the last wicket?
But there are not many options there, though.
No, there aren't. And the other thing is this, it will be Shannon. Obviously, a run out is part of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Bowler, you know what I'm saying? So who gets the last wicket? Let's see how it goes.
Okay, we'll see how it goes, Will.
Brent, if they've got an account before the cricket ends, they can win 2,000 Rand. And if they don't have an account yet with GGGaming, 200 Rand. Is that what we're going to do?
That's fine. Yeah, you got to have an account. You win 2,000, and you got to beat your bet. We'll talk about, and then 200 Rand if you don't, if you only still got to open an account. That's fine.
Okay.
100%. But Gary, I think what we should do, we'll throw in because there's only so many bowlers who can take it. I want them to put the time in as well. We'll have that as the tie break.
Okay.
So bowler, and then you put the time. I want to see if anyone can nail it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Excellent. Tell me, Gary, Master Punter, I know you don't have the leaderboards with you at the moment, but the Platinum boys are going well. And I'm kicking myself. I put my 1,000 Rand up. I went a points bet. I think I went unders in the Scotland game. I collected, and I put the whole balance on unders in running in the England-France game at about 51.5. And gee whiz, the English just ran away with that. And I'm gone. I'm out the competition, and I think the leader's on about 1,100.
Yeah, exactly. What did they finish? 52? What was it? 44.8?
Yeah, it was 44.8. Can you believe it? They finished at 52, but was one of those so near so far because the 52nd point came with about 23 minutes to go.
Just got dead after that. Yeah, disappointing, Brent. But I mean, a lot of people are very upset about where you came out because there's a flood of money for you being the first person knocked out. And unfortunately for the people that backed that, it was a market we had behind your back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Person knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So they just lost.
I know I wasn't the first.
No. The money came for you the first. They were taking 4 to 10 just before kickoff, you know. But yeah, so no, I mean, look, the leaderboard is a lot closer and it's a lot lower than it was without the horse racing, and perhaps that's what it is. And you know, we enjoy it, and I hope the guys out there enjoy it. Well, obviously they do, otherwise they wouldn't enter, right? So we'll do another one in the close future, in the near future. And anybody got ideas how they would like it run or what they'd like included or excluded, let them send it through to us, Brent. Not as a criticism or anything like that, just to give us ideas. You know what I'm saying? Well, they can criticize as well. We thick skin. But just to give us ideas to make it a better competition that guys enjoy more.
Well, I must say,
competition.
I think it was Ruan Faree actually opened a thread on, I think it was him that opened on the Good for the Game forum today or yesterday. And he basically said how he mentioned the competition, how he's betting so differently because of it. Right. But how much he's enjoying the competition. And then I think it was someone else like Henrik came in underneath him and said exactly the same thing, how much they're enjoying it. So I think absolutely no doubt the boys are loving it. Yeah. And guys, maybe on that thread as well, if you have any ideas or whatever, post it there for GGGaming. But I do think taking the horse racing out was a good thing, Gary, because it does seem to have leveled the playing fields and taken the good fortune of the pick six and that out of the equation. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, and at the end of the day, a sports punter can't keep up with a horse racing punter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, the only way would be to fluke a draw in a rugby or something, or a first-time goal scorer. You know what I mean? A guy who's a defender. So, you know what I mean? Which takes away from the skills. Not really about fluking a 25 to 1 shot. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you know what I mean? Hail Marys do count. But it's more about the consistent sport punter. That's the way I like to see it. You know what I mean, Brent?
Yeah, and also horse racing, let's face it, at the end of the day, some guys are more in the know than others.
Exactly.
Whereas sports, I think you can do more research. You may well, you get guys like Henrik and Sean and all of that, and they do their research, so they are more in the know, but that's through just sheer sort of hard work, if I want to put it that way, as opposed to maybe just knowing someone who knows someone and perhaps picks up a better price. So I definitely think that's the case. As far as any other sport goes, just one thing I wanted to touch on was the Varsity Cup, Gary. I know spoke to Justin last week, and he was nice and knowledgeable on that. I see you guys are pricing up nice and early.
Yeah.
Are you finding any betting interest on the Varsity Cup?
Yeah, there is. You know what I'm saying? We've done our money on the Tups UJ game, which was delayed.
Yes, the delayed game, yeah.
Delayed 36 hours. So we are seeing action on that. And the guys must come. I'm not saying that they must come with their 50 and 100,000, but come with your 500 Rand, your 1,000, your 2,000. It's a fun thing to bet on. It's a nice time of the evening to watch it on a Monday or a Tuesday night, whenever it is, you know. Something to do, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we're talking out there to your mates and the guys that watch us. They are the diehards, and none of them are out there having romantic dinners with what is St. Valentine's Day, you know. And I just want to say something, right? This is something that I'm going to tell all guys, right? If you watch rugby And if you watch this show, and if you don't give your wife presents, flowers, perfumes, and fancy dinners, that will work in your favor because they won't suspect that you're having an affair. It's all the guys that go there and give their wives these little pussy things like perfume and flowers and this and that and cook them dinner. It creates suspicion, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it.
My wife knows if she gets flowers, I've done something wrong, no doubt about it. I must say tonight, though, Gary, she did get a candle at dinner, but I think that was more compliments of Eskom than anything else. Eh?
Exactly, 100%, you know. Got to be tough with our sports there, guys.
Excellent. Well, we're going to wrap it there. Let's just run through that Twitter comp one more. I see the guys have all entered the other comp, but you go onto Twitter, hashtag GGGaming gone mad, tag GGGaming, tag myself. Who's going to get the final wicket of the test match? And just tell me what time it's going to happen and we have tie break. If you've got an account, 2,000 Rand. But Gary, you've got to give us your best bet that they got to beat.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a double. I'm going to go Brumbies and Bulls both outright.
Brumbies and Bulls outright. So one of those teams have to get beaten for you to collect there. But guys, I will stick the rules of the Twitter competition underneath this video when I upload it later tonight. So you will be able to go and have a good look. There's no rush so long as you get in before the as long as you get in before the end of the cricket test match, of course.
Well, I mean, by then they'll know if the Brumbies have lost or not. But just the other thing is, so just in case the Brumbies have won everything, if my double's right, Brent, I'm still prepared to give the guy who gets it right 1,000 Rand, regardless of if I'm right, okay? 1,000 and we'll divide everything but to 1,100.
Excellent. Gary, hey, thanks very much, man. Been good having you on the show. Thanks to all the guys in the live chat. Hopefully you boys will stay on the line because we've got the handicap show coming up. I've got Hein and Oracle Rugby joining me there. Henrik, unfortunately, not going to be able to join us unless his power comes back on. Remember, you can subscribe at the bottom of the video. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next week on GG Gaming Gone Mad.
Cheers, Brent. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Gary.